One Championship is back with a big one. One Fight Night 14 goes down September 29th on Prime Video from Singapore. But how about this? 4 female fights atop the card. And right there, Danielle Kelly of the U.S. in a big rematch for the first time, the vacant women's atomweight submission title. Danielle, great to have you on the show. But I've been researching deeper this rivalry here with Jessa Khan. And people are fired up about this. How fired up are you to meet your old friend one more time with the title on the line here in One Championship?
I feel pretty confident. I'm excited to go against her. I don't really focus on too much of the rivalry, but it's for the title and it's a former opponent that I had and I want that win back, so it's a bonus. But yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Well, you met with Jessa back in February of 2021. You lost a decision in a submission only event under a different banner. When you look back on that night, what do you remember? What happened?
Yeah, so I remember it was a different promotion and just the whole buildup of the week upcoming to that match. I had like a lot of I was going through like a bit of a obstacle and my body, it probably sounds like an excuse now, but like I had like an injury, but I kind of had to like try to balance certain things during that camp. And this time I feel super confident. I have the right training partners. I don't try to hurt me. I'm with the right corner. I have the right people in my corner. I just remember her being super aggressive. I watched our matches again recently and there's a fire inside me. So, I just hope she's ready this time because I'm not going to be holding back.
I mean, does the competitor in you look back at that and say, okay, maybe I lost that fight more than she won it, that match?
I for sure lost that match, but I don't really hold. It's history. This is a new
Yeah.
day. This is a new match, and I if they study me in that match, they think I'm gonna be the same way. That's on them. I've prepared for her for a long time now, so I'm really excited to just prove myself.
Well, you've been proving yourself since signing with One Championship, unbeaten in 3 matches, and now the inaugural, women's atomweight submission title on the line. Just a handful of fights in here at age 27, you're fighting for a One Championship. Well, that's got to be a quick progression for you since signing with it. How exciting is this for you?
It's really exciting. I always say too, like, I was the first women's match for One Championship. I'm so sorry, my dog is like on top of me. That was the first women's match for One Championship and being the first to compete for the women's atomweight title match against Jessa, who's I would say like more on writing. She's more accomplished than me, and I get to just do my thing, showcase my jiu-jitsu to the whole world. This is going to be a big match. A lot of views, a lot of eyes are going to be in our match, especially like jiu-jitsu and MMA community. So I'm really excited. It's a bold statement saying that. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to this match.
Absolutely. It's going down 9 p.m. Eastern time in the US, September 29th on Prime Video. With the One Championship, you really get to tour the world here. What's the biggest culture adjustment when you get off a plane in Singapore compared to the US?
Not really much. I really like Singapore because it's clean. It's a small area too. It's probably like a New York City, but cleaner and a little bit smaller. But the food's clean there. Places there's not really like anything dirty there. It's really, really clean and it's nice. People are nice there. And I would say like the only like change you would have to like really adjust is the time difference because I'm flying out like a nighttime here, flying there. I get there in the morning, but then technically when I get there in the morning, it's gonna be nighttime here. So that's gonna be a bit of an adjustment. It always is. But I've been there 2 times now, so it's not really an issue. I really enjoyed the weather out there, and I want to explore more in the city after my match.
Absolutely. Big opportunity here with the championship. 4 female fights atop the card, which is awesome to see. Stamp in the main event. I mean, so many big names on here. Um, that extra special to you to sort of be a big part of it, an all-female card coming at people here September 29th?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a part of a whole all female card. It's only all female card in the main card. I think the rest under the undercard is the guys, but yeah, I've always wanted to be a part of something like this. And since my match is the only jiu-jitsu match on the card, it's gonna be really cool that a lot of jiu-jitsu people are gonna be watching, and a lot of young girls, young boys are gonna watch it. So just pushing women's jiu-jitsu out there, and I get to do it. Jessa is, it's gonna be a big thing.
I mean, are you as big of a Stamp fan as the rest of us? I mean, it's fun to watch at the highest level here.
Yeah, I really like watching her fight, but I've also watched Tam, so I feel like it's gonna be a really good fight. They're both really good.
Absolutely. Your name just keeps coming up in terms of US grapplers on the rise, and we're seeing you on the featured high on these one championship cards. What do you think's allowed you to make this leap? What separates you from the others at the top, in your opinion?
So I feel like that recently, I've had the opportunity. I'm grateful for it too that I get to each match that comes up, with one, I compete like once or twice a year. I get to put all my focus and training into those matches. Whereas before I kind of, when I compete, it would be like different matches or different people you don't really prepare for. Um, I feel like I kind of like go against anyone. My last match was, an open weight with a bigger girl, judo black belt. I put myself out there with the best, and I try to perform the best. And I'm an exciting grappler. I feel like I don't kind of push off time or go against people who when I think I'm ready. I just go out there and perform the way I do. I think that's what kind of separates me from everybody, and being a small grappler in general. I try to push the little girl, small grapplers out there.
What is the impact of a loss in grappling compared to the other combat sports? Because I say in boxing, maybe we use that as a scar too often if a young fighter takes a loss. In MMA, there's more forgiveness from there. How do you deal with defeat in knowing that there's that opportunity to grow from each experience and gain something from it?
That's a good question. I feel like for me, especially like recently, I don't know what it is. I feel like MMA, especially MMA girls, jiu-jitsu MMA is in some ways, small ways similar. But like obviously MMA is with punching. But what's kind of like similar is if you kind of have a face in MMA or jiu-jitsu, I would start with MMA as an example because you're getting punched in the face. But if you have like a face in combat sports and you're getting like certain attention, or people, you look a certain way and normally believes that you're as good as, not to put myself out there, but when I went against certain people, I would either visit my schools or I visit schools, or local grapplers that I would train with or that came visit. I had like some of them say like they didn't realize how strong I was or how good because, in just picture or, video, I feel like also my jiu-jitsu has gotten better recently, but in the past, they didn't realize that because I don't look that strong, or, I wasn't taken seriously. And that kind of surprises me because, a lot of the women in the sport being on the all like female cards. So like that goes for all of them too. I feel like it's sad that, we put in all this work and we're being seen just by either the looks or, people's opinions, we're seen as down because we have a certain look or personality. I think it's mostly personality, but, they kind of like look down at you like you don't work hard just as the guys.
Sure.
So that's a little sad, but that's kind of what we go through.
Yeah, it's something you push through and you've done a great job on. I know you rep Philly where you're from, but there's that reputation, at least in the hand-to-hand combat fight game, that somebody from Philly is going to be, I don't know, a little tougher than the norm, maybe a little more willing to take chances in fights. Do you bring that same Philadelphia fighting spirit to the submission grappling world?
Yeah, I bring the attitude. I think I have the Philly attitude to me still. But yeah, I'm definitely bringing the aggression to this match. There's no holding back.
When you talk about how you got here, and I hear it often in combat sports that if it wasn't for this sport, my life would be different. I've heard you say that, jujitsu not only changed your life, it may have saved it in prior interviews. how do you sort of define that and the impact this sport has had on your life?
Yeah, so I previously said before, I feel like, and it's really cliche because people would say like, "Oh, jujitsu changed my life," and for me, it's a true fact because I mean, every sport has its bad. You meet good or bad people. That's just in general. That could be anywhere. But with jujitsu, I feel it's brought a lot of positive in my life because I met the right people. They're just like my family, they're even more family than the family I have. It's sad, but it's the truth. People, it's my job now. People show up for me, they help me out. These people are putting just as much work in as I am. They want to see me succeed. And I think having that in your corner, such as this as a career, it's really important because you need those people in your corner in your life. And with that being said, physically, I feel like if I didn't have jiu-jitsu, I probably wouldn't be as in shape that I am. I would not be where I am right today, especially. I'd probably be, if I didn't have the right mindset, if I, did bad things, I don't know where I would end up, probably not here. But, let's uh more so saying being here now with jiu-jitsu, I feel, it's brought a positive impact in my life and gave me a lot of confidence.
Yeah, that's great to see. And I know from reading your backstory, you'd lost your parents at a young age to illness. How much do you feel like when you compete at the highest level here, there's still that connection that you're wanting to please them and perform and keep that connection alive?
Yeah, I feel every match it gets bigger, and you know, I feel like with this match, I lost her previously, but there's a spark in me, and I feel like I'm performing out there on a big stage for a reason, and having that opportunity, I get to I mean, this hasn't really been talked about, but my mom at one point wanted me to quit jiu-jitsu because she felt like it wasn't a good career, which is fine. I guess from a mom's point of view, like they don't want you to stick to something that's not as popular, like women's sports or especially MMA or jiu-jitsu wasn't popular when my mom was
Sure.
around. Um, but like being there and proving like, hey mom, look at me, like this is what I'm doing. It brings me a lot of like drive. Like I'm here now. I get to do this, make my parents proud. My mom would probably in a million years never thought that I would be in the position I'm in. So, it brings a lot of yeah, I guess drive. I don't know how to describe it, but I proved the people wrong that didn't think I was gonna be in where I'm at today. So
It's great to see. Do you put a lot of value in the belt in the championship? You're fighting for the vacant one. You can start a whole new lineage and era in this division under your name. But I get when I hear so many athletes say, like that, it's the journey. It's not this piece of metal as beautiful as it can be. Do you look at you put that title around your waist, your life changes the next minute?
I mean, yeah, I'm going against a world champion. I'm going against someone, I see all the comments. I see, I don't really get the attention thing. Like, I feel like, some people are saying like I'm this or why am I the face of this? Like, why do I have a match with Jessa? And it's kind of like, why can I have a match with the world champion? She's supposed to be a world champion. She's supposed to beat me, right? So what's the excuse when that belt's around my waist? I'm gonna go like crazy after that, I'm gonna be an emotional wreck, but like yeah, it's a big stepping stone. It's a huge accomplishment. Like if I be a world champion, there should be no excuses after that. I might want to go after a world champion MMA person, but just like Mikey Musumeci, he's going
Sure.
against everybody. So I look forward to being that when I beat Jessa.
I heard a little bit of the Philadelphia come out of there, and it was
Yeah.
great. It was great to hear. I love the confidence. But do you still feel like you're constantly proving like naysayers wrong?
Uh, yes, I feel like recently, it's kind of died down, but you're always gonna have people that just doubt you, especially with my match with Jessa. There's a lot of doubters, and I am the underdog in this match, so it kind of helps my case, and I like that my training's been low key. Like no one really knows what I can do. Like I've been studying Jessa. I've been studying her for a while. Her gi matches, her no gi matches. You know, I have her on my screensaver. I'm taking this girl seriously, so when I beat her, I can't wait to hear the excuses of some people.
All right, there you go, right there. You have beaten some very well-known MMA names in the grappling space: Carla Esparza, Roxanne Modafferi. You're talking about maybe future fights against them. You're getting a lot of exposure in the MMA world. Maybe that's competing on the stage that one has built with the different disciplines. But I'm sure a lot of people are wondering: do you have aspirations to cross over and mix the striking with your incredible grappling skills?
Yeah, I eventually, once I, put my name in jiu-jitsu, I eventually want one or two fights. It just depends like where I'm at in my career. Because that's why I started jiu-jitsu. I was getting bullied and I wanted to learn striking, but my coach at the time pushed me to jiu-jitsu, which is good. I'm where I'm in today. But I did, however, started because I wanted to fight. But, you know, at that time women's MMA wasn't as big. You couldn't really, do much from it. The women weren't getting paid as much. Yeah, I would say like some things kind of, I would just have to maybe change some things, but that's definitely on my mind. I definitely want a fight or two just so I can say like I did it and maybe I'll fall in love with it again, but right now I'm just focused on jiu-jitsu and
Sure.
pushing it.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see, especially the more times you tap out some big, world-renowned MMA names. There are probably people knocking on your door, but your focus is obvious. It's September 29th. It's the inaugural Women's Atomweight Grappling Championship, the rematch with Jessa Khan, and it goes down on Prime Video, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, one fight night 14. I can't wait for it. Danielle, great to get to know you a bit, and I wish you the best. This will be a fun rematch. A lot at stake for you here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was fun.